It's really easy to exit any conversation as soon as you have an exit cue, because both the partners in a particular conversation, they'll be comfortable exiting the conversation at that particular point, because both the parties, they don't have anything to say, so nobody will take offense. It's really nice to take that cue and exit. Hello everybody, how are you all? Hope you're doing great. So welcome back to another session of learning English with me. Today I'm going to continue the three-parter lesson on conversation skills. Now you know that we were doing how to start a conversation, how to keep the conversation going, and then how to end a conversation. In this particular series, we have already covered how to start a conversation, and that is very essential. Now starting a conversation requires confidence, and then how to keep the conversation going, that lesson has also been done. It's there on the channel. You can go and check it out. Watch the two videos. I suggest watch those two lessons because it's going to help you a lot in understanding today's lesson, which is how to end a conversation. Now you have started the conversation, kept it going. Now it's time to end the conversation. And ending a conversation is an art. It's not like you can end any conversation abruptly. That appears rude. So ending any conversation is an art. And are you ready to learn this art today with me? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And you're watching Speak English with Shivangi. Before beginning, I'd like you to please subscribe the channel so that you don't miss out any lesson that I post. I post one English video lesson every day on this channel. Like the video and share it with your friends too. Coming back to our lesson now, how to end a conversation. Now, why is it important to know how to end a conversation? The way you end a conversation is your last impression on the person. The way you approach them, start a conversation is your first impression. But as important as is your first impression, the last impression also matters a lot. That is how you're ending a conversation. And ending a conversation is just not about confidence, it is also about politeness. You need to end a conversation on a very polite note. Otherwise, what people do is they end up being rude. It's not like they are intentionally being rude. No, not at all. The thing is that they don't know how to end it. They get a little bit overwhelmed. They end it abruptly, and hence they appear rude to the other person. In order to avoid this particular situation and in order to end your conversation effectively, politely, and with a powerful impact on your listener, on the other person, the person you're talking to, you need to follow some techniques and some tips that I'm going to give you in this lesson today. So are you ready for all the tips and techniques? Okay, let's begin all the tips and techniques for today on how to end a conversation so that you sound really polite and confident. Okay, so the technique number one or the tip number one is that show gratitude and positivity towards your speaker. Now, whoever you're talking to, the other person, that person needs to feel comfortable, also valued when you are ending a conversation. Otherwise, they may take offense because you might end it abruptly. You don't want to appear rude. So the best possible way to end any conversation is show some gratitude and project positivity. For that, you can simply use some phrases like, "It was so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for giving me your time." Simple sentences to just let them know that it was really nice talking to them or you had a great time. So you're being polite, you're making them feel comfortable, you're showing your gratitude, and this makes a great impression, a long-lasting impression to whoever you are talking to. Now, if you are there to make network, build your professional network, it's gonna help a lot. If you're there to build your social network, again, this will help a lot because you are leaving a long-lasting impression. And if the person is someone you know, your friend, your acquaintance, you're strengthening your relationship. So that's how you need to approach the ending of any conversation. Remain positive and show some gratitude. Okay, now the technique number 2. Technique number 2 is really important for having a conversation at any place, whether a professional event, a social event, a business meeting, if you're having a conversation at your college, at your office, whatever is the place, to whomsoever you're talking, this particular thing is really important. That is, technique number 2 is to prepare some exit lines. Now you need to prepare some exit lines. What are exit lines? Exit lines are basically phrases that you use to end any conversation. They can be, "Thank you so much for giving me your time." "Oh, that was so nice talking to you." "I really appreciate your advice. I'll keep it in mind." "Let's catch up soon." "I'll see you next time." So these are some phrases, some exit lines that you are preparing and that you are using. So if you are prepared with these exit lines, if you know these exit lines, it'll help you ending any conversation with ease. You will not worry about sounding fluent or not because you already have these phrases. So it's important to prepare these exit lines. They work as a cue. The other person also knows that now this conversation is ending. You also know it, and you end it on a positive note. So prepare some exit lines or prepare some exit phrases, learn these phrases, and they will help you end a conversation beautifully. Technique number 3. Now, technique number 3 is to look for an exit cue. Now, exit cue. You need to take an exit from the conversation now. Okay, it's coming towards an end. Now, you need to look for some exit cue. Cue is a signal or a symbol. So, you need to look for any kind of signal. That can be a dullness or any kind of dull moment in the conversation when both of you don't know what to say. You and your conversation partner, you don't know what you need to say next, and it's like you've talked about a lot of things. Now there is some kind of awkward silence, or maybe the attention of the other person has been captured by something else. So look for that kind of cue, exit cue. Now this is the time when you can excuse yourself, let the other person go, do something else, and you also go move forward with your work, whatever you're doing, talk to somebody else, go get something to drink, get something to eat, or whatever it is that you're doing, keep on doing your work. So look for this kind of exit cue, and when you find one exit cue, right then and there, use some kind of exit lines, exit phrases that we have prepared in the last step or the last technique, that you need to use those exit lines at that particular time. It's really easy to exit any conversation as soon as you have an exit cue, because both the people, both the partners in a particular conversation, they'll be comfortable exiting the conversation at that particular point because both the parties, they don't have anything to say. So nobody will take offense. It's really nice to take that cue and exit. Look for body language of the person, look for the interest, whether they are interested in talking to you or not, or the conversation is getting boring now. So these are the cues that you need to follow and end the conversation. It'll end beautifully. Okay, so technique number 4. Now in this particular technique, we are going to relate it to the previous one. That is, what did you just do in the previous one? You were looking for an exit cue, and in this one you have to give an exit cue to the other person. Now sometimes it's really helpful to give other person an exit cue. If you think that they are no longer interested in talking to you, even you can give them some kind of exit cue. For example, you can say something like, "Well then, so anyways, it was really nice talking to you." So these are kind of exit cues. You're giving them cues, you are politely smiling and just looking at them, you're not saying something else, or you're not trying to take the conversation ahead. These are your exit cues that you can give to other person because they might want to end the conversation too. So it's okay if somebody wants to end the conversation, you should allow them to and give them some exit cues. So give them these exit cues through your body language. You can politely smile and you can just bend your head a little bit in order to say, oh yeah, so it was nice talking to you. In a very polite manner, you can give them an exit cue, and then the conversation will come to an end in a beautiful manner. It will not end abruptly. Technique number 5. So technique number 5 to exit any conversation is to introduce someone new to the conversation. Now that's a great way to end a conversation, by introducing someone else to the conversation. You're helping people build a network which is going to actually help you a lot in future. Now when you introduce someone new, the thing is that they will continue talking, and it's perfect time for you to politely exit that conversation. Now you see that there is someone approaching you, and you think that this person can actually contribute to the conversation, and the interest of the person who's approaching and the person you're talking to, that can match. Introduce them simply. For example, I would like you to meet Tom. He is great at designing. I'm sure you'll have great time talking. And then they can talk. Once the person joins in the conversation, simply what you can do is you can say this: oh, please, you two continue talking and excuse me for some time. You're just getting excused for some time, and then you can positively and politely exit that particular conversation. Now these two people, they are gonna talk, they'll have the conversation, and you can move on, do something, find someone new to talk to, and just socialize. Okay, so technique number 6. Technique number 6 is offer them to continue in the future. So an offer to continue in the future is basically you are making future plans about meeting the person or talking to the person in the future. And this can be a great way to end a conversation. Now, if you're talking to them and then you're referring about talking to them in the future, that means now you're planning to exit the conversation and do whatever you were doing or go on your own way. It's a very beautiful way to end any conversation. The other person will feel appreciated, and they will feel positive that yes, you are interested in talking to them. You're interested in talking to them once again or meeting them in the future. So for doing this, you can simply say, it was great talking to you. Let's talk about it in the next seminar. It was great talking to you today. I really loved our conversation. I really loved your story about your last vacation. So I hope to meet you next weekend. So simple thing that refers to a future plan. This will help you create a very positive kind of image, and the person will be impressed. And yes, you'll have great network. You have talked to the person confidently, and you have left an imprint, a mark. So that's something that you need to do. Technique number 7. So technique number 7 is a time-sensitive exit. Now what is a time-sensitive exit? A time-sensitive exit is basically an exit where you're referring to the time that you're short on time. See, if you have something else to do, if you are short on time, you're really short on time, be truthful. A lot of times what people do is, if they have something else to do, if they have something pending, they do not tell this to the person and they abruptly end the conversation, which appears rude. Now, this is something really rude to do. You don't have to reveal your plans. Not at all. I'm not saying that go tell them what exactly you're going to do. No, don't do that. But just let them know that you're running short on time and that you have something really important to attend to. And you're sorry, and you will continue this conversation in the future. That's it. And this will actually create a positive impression. You'll appear really polite and confident too. A person who knows how to end a conversation confidently appears confident. If you know how to end it correctly, you appear confident. So that is the thing. If you are trying to tell them your true intention, you'll appear more confident, believe me. So what you need to do is, if you're running late on time, you can say, for example, I'd really like to talk to you more, but I'm sorry, I'm running short on time. I have something really important to do. Please excuse me. Let's continue this in the future. So this is just an example. There are more phrases. You can end it in your own way. Tell about it in your own way. You do not have to exactly tell your plans at all if you don't want to. Just let them know that you have something important and you cannot stay any longer. Your time needs to be given to something else right now because you have committed to something else already. And just move forward, move on. Technique number 8. Now, in this technique number 8, you need to maintain a positive body language. So what happens is, often what happens without realizing that positive body language that people maintain, they lose it towards the end of the conversation. That is something you need to hold on to. Hold on to that open, positive body language because this will help you appear polite when you're ending a conversation. This will help you project the positivity that we were talking about in the step number 1, the technique number 1. So have that open, positive body language. Keep a small smile on your face. You can shake hands and make plans. So I simply call this, pay attention, simply call this technique, smile, shake hands, make plans. So it's really easy to remember. Smile, shake hands, make plans. The perfect way to end any conversation. So you can make plans about talking about something else in the future. You can make plans on meeting somewhere else. You can make plans about meeting in the next seminar. You can make plans about just having dinner. That's it. That's the thing. So the thing is that make plans, smile, shake hands. A handshake is considered positive and formal. So if you are at some kind of professional event, shaking hands, that is considered a positive attitude in any business meeting or any kind of professional event, and it shows your gratitude towards the other person. So it's important to do that. So maintain that positive body language, smile, shake hands, make plans. That's the end of the conversation. That's how you need to end the conversation. And with this, we are also coming to the end of today's session and all these techniques. So these were the 8 techniques that I've discussed with you. Very important techniques which will help you sound more polite and confident whenever you're ending any conversation. So use them whenever you're meeting somebody new next time, whenever you're going to an event, you're talking to somebody. Use all the techniques. They will help you end a conversation beautifully on a very beautiful note. So that was it for today. I suggest you please go back and watch the 2 lessons in this particular series which were already added to the channel. So I've published them. You can find the link in the description box below. From there you can access the 2 lessons. Lesson number 1, how to start a conversation. Lesson number 2, how to keep it going. And this is the lesson number 3, how to end a conversation. So that's it for today. That was it. I hope you liked the lesson. Now I'm gonna see you next time with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.